So I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out.
They're
the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground.
Listen,
they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying. He don't have to do that.
So we're mad at him because he changed his.
Oh, no.
Whoopi Goldberg gets destroyed by Charlamagne live on The View, and it sent her into an unhinged tirade. So Charlamagne took a break from Breakfast Club to go ahead and go to The View to tell Whoopi Goldberg that the Democrats pretend to be so perfect and righteous, but Biden pardoned Hunter after, he said he wouldn't. Now, of course, as usual, Whoopi Goldberg gets mad, and Whoopi Goldberg and the other guy go ahead and get into a big argument. But this whole tirade is basically a waste of time between Whoopi Goldberg and Charlamagne. I mean, it sounds interesting debate, but, yeah, between two leftists and stuff, it's interesting because Charlamagne, he has been, becoming more reasonable over the past couple of weeks, if not months and everything of this year, where he actually slams the Democrats like Whoopi Goldberg, for example, who are often still delusional over the fact that, the party is definitely righteous over the Republicans, as well as the fact that they believe that, and Whoopi Goldberg included, believe that Kamala Harris was the best candidate, that she ran the perfect, campaign and stuff. But Whoopi Goldberg failed to realize that it was flawed. It started with Kamala, and the Democrats lost the White House because of Kamala Harris. And Whoopi Goldberg, hopefully she'll come around, but Charlamagne seems to be the one that came around before it the most and stuff. So we have here Whoopi Goldberg as well as others on The View debating about, what happened with the Democrat Party and stuff. And Whoopi Goldberg is going into a big unhinged tirade by Charlamagne. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification. Be sure to smash the like button in this video if you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get into it.
My question is, after the election, you said that you were disappointed but optimistic. How are you feeling right now?
I feel the same way because, what's the other option?
Right.
I'm a country boy from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, raised on a dirt road. So, my mother was a Jehovah's Witness, my grandmother was a Baptist. So I still believe in this higher power called God.
Yeah.
And, you can't believe in God when, things go your way and not believe in God when things don't go your way. So at a time like this, you just got to remember your serenity prayer, which is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because you can't change nothing.
I love that. Yeah.
Especially the wisdom to know the difference, right?
We can't change anything.
Can't.
Not yet.
Well, 4 years from now, I guess.
Or two.
You never know.
But let me ask you this: Trump's campaign ads for some, they're saying they were very effective, and in one in particular ad, he used a clip of you from the Breakfast Club saying, "quote Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners." You say that line was taken out of context. I know it was. But it went on to become one of his most effective campaign ads. I'm also featured in one of his campaign ads.
You might have been 1 and 2.
Yeah. I was. He texted me and let me know that.
Context.
No.
No, it wasn't. But what were you actually saying in the clip? And can you please explain that? And how does it make you feel that the campaign used you like that?
Well, it's never good to be taken out of context, but I was explaining to my listeners how effective I thought the actual ad was. The ad was effective before I was in it. I was just sitting at home watching football, and I saw it, and I was like, whoa. And so I knew the immediate reaction was going to be, people are going to say, hell no, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to that. So I was explaining that to my listeners. So, it never feels good to be taken out of context, but what I didn't like the most was that they didn't do anything to combat it. Right. I would have ran the same ad and just said, Donald Trump, what is it? Donald Trump supports, what was it?
He was the one that was supporting tax.
Yes, Donald Trump supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. I would have ran the same ad because it was legislation under him as well. And you know what else I would have did if I was our campaign? Since Donald Trump used me, I would have used Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said Donald Trump was a threat to democracy. Joe Rogan said he thought Donald Trump was, I think, unhinged was the quote.
Right.
You got to mix it up. You got to get dirty with these people. You know what I'm saying? You got to muddy the waters a little bit, cause confusion.
Yeah.
Apparently, they all missed the memo because the Trump campaign did run an effective, campaign. And Charlamagne actually got that correct because of the fact of the matter is it did touch people in a manner that got them persuaded to go ahead and vote for Trump. Now, the fact of the matter is Sunday Hostin, as you know, on The View with Whoopi Goldberg, is basically trying to go ahead call of these worded questions and stuff to actually, basically it shows her bias, okay? And that's nothing new right there with Sunday Hostin as well as Whoopi Goldberg. And Charlamagne seems to be like one of the most reasonable people on this panel besides the other Republican, that's on the panel. And it's just basically, it's like all these accusations, and Sonny's starting early with these accusations against Trump and stuff, where they basically talk about, how this whole thing with the campaign by Trump and stuff and Vance was ran throughout this year, and the things that they said, using clips of what Charlamagne said. We all know this, and everyone with the common sense and a brain would actually know the context that Charlamagne was saying was the fact that that was an effective campaign that was actually going to convince people. Okay, Charlamagne wasn't trying to say that Trump was right and I agree with Trump and da 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 da. That's how the left always operate, and it's sickening. I'm already pissed off as it is before I started recording this video and everything. So yeah, basically, this is going to send me into a tizzy. I already know. So whatever.
Ask you something that's going around right now. A lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, et cetera, as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now. But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy, and they were saying that, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him. That's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed his mind.
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a sudden?
No, I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And this is just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out. They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. Listen, they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying. He don't have to do that.
So we're mad at him because he changed his.
Oh no. By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning Hunter Biden.
But you sound like you're
mad.
No.
If I could get in on this, I actually think it went further, and this is one thing we really disagree on. Joe Biden made a point of saying we stand by our institutions and the impartiality of the Department of Justice.
Yes.
Democrats ran on that. The same DOJ indicted Hunter Biden. We shouldn't be saying it's corrupt like Donald Trump does. But then in his statement pardoning Hunter Biden, he says that it was a political pursuit by his own Department of Justice.
Can you explain to me why it is that when Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls? He's wrong.
Nobody
he lied.
has criticized Donald Trump more than me or Charlamagne.
I'm sorry. Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more. But you're missing my question.
Okay.
My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing?
Well, I don't think people.
I think Whoopi Goldberg needs a bit of a history lesson. Let's go ahead and take it all the way back to the 90s when Joe Biden was senator. He had a certain aide by the name of Tara Reid and everything. Y'all remember her, and then she go ahead and actually reveal that these accusations against Biden, where she accused him of doing the illegal things to her. Okay, and I'm gonna let y'all fill in those blanks and stuff. And Whoopi Goldberg, as y'all can see, she's on a high horse and everything. Where she said that, you know, she made this move to pardon his son because of the fact that the matter is that he's tired of seeing everybody going after him. So, well, how about everybody start going after Biden with what he did back in the 90s and stuff too, as well as how Biden was actually like making younger women and little girls uncomfortable while he was sniffing their heads, touching them inappropriately as well. So, or is that something that Whoopi Goldberg is afraid to talk about? But look, the fact of the matter is, Charlamagne, like a lot of other Democrats out there, are upset because of the fact that, you know, they believed Biden when he said that he was going to respect the law, that he was going to let the process play out as is, and then next, you know, you basically change your mind and lie, talking about, and then decide to go ahead and pardon, you know, his son. But here's the interesting thing. I don't even think that the pardon is going to stick through because these are state charges that he was facing, not federal charges, state charges. That's something that Whoopi Goldberg need to go ahead and understand and basically understand that there's a difference between federal charges and state charges, and the pardon is might not even hold up on it, you know. But she's ignoring the issue. Okay, I wonder what Charlamagne has to say about this.
People are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping out with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing, but that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes... But when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
That's why I'm an independent.
Yes, but
I think that's the best way to go.
But that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
But why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong?
I'll tell you when Democrats are
wrong. So you don't think Joe Biden is wrong?
No, I don't. And can I just point this out to you? The president has a pardon power,
you're ridiculous.
Right?
I didn't say you were ridiculous, Ms. Goldberg.
Yeah,
I would never. I said that. I just think that's
Think about
Come over
it.
and give me a
Think about it this way. just very quickly.
Well, at least they made up and everything. But the fact of the matter is, Charlamagne is right. What the Democrats putting out there is ridiculous and stuff. That's why so many people left the Democrat Party and stuff, as well as, or at least stopped supporting the Democrat Party and went on ahead and voted for Trump. Because the fact of the matter is, these different things that they go ahead and put out there and stuff with the lies and the delusions that they believe, it's like it's going nowhere. You know, when it comes to logic as well as policy, that's when it was all thrown out the window. Okay. And like he was mentioning, you know, all of these different things, the platforms and everything, if you actually believe that, you know, there was nothing wrong with Biden and stuff, that he did nothing wrong, I mean, absolutely nothing wrong, then you're delusional. Okay. Aside from the things that I listed that Biden did, let's also look at the things that he did as president and stuff or didn't do. Well, we'll start with the bad lack of response or proper response to those who suffer from those different wildfires and other disasters over in Hawaii. Or how about bring it up to speed with the whole hurricanes and stuff where people were affected in Florida, Georgia, as well as South Carolina, and North Carolina. Or what about the economy itself? Or how about sending billions or up to over $1 trillion and stuff to Ukraine and stuff, which for a war that shouldn't be happening in the first place, while not taking care of people here at home? Well, other than that, this was a good debate, an interesting debate, and I'm glad that it ended peacefully, where Charlamagne was actually a voice of reason for once. Well, I can't even say for once, because there's many times where Charlamagne was actually a voice of reason and everything. But let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have with this particular topic. If you enjoyed what we're sharing in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, and share the video for our across social media. And if you haven't done so already, enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, so that way you know that I've had a future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.